your lib take.
Yeah, villain shit.
I'm
Don't
about
give him
to
the
villain
Don't give
shit.
him the 11. This is from his heart.
So I want you guys to maybe answer this question, because I was curious what the more conservative response in the country was to these protests just online, and I wanted to dig into like what the feedback was specifically to the No Kings protests of the past weekend. And the pervasive thing I saw over and over again was them making fun of, well, the protests were a success. America doesn't have a king anymore. And as in, like, we never had one. Like,
Right.
these protests make no sense. Liberals just, like, make stuff up. They don't, like, what is the intention of a No Kings protest where millions of people can be protesting across the country with essentially no holdup or conflict to that protest, and they get to successfully do that? Is that not a demonstration of the fact that we do not live in an autocracy? And that was the main criticism that I saw online circulated. I was curious what you guys might have to say in response to that.
I think when people talk about Trump being dictatorial, they are talking about a process, not a current state of being. We're talking about a shaking or a degrading of the Constitution or of, separation of powers, judicial authority. So I would assume the point of the No Kings protest is not that we currently have a king, we need to get rid of him. It's more like we should never have kings and we're headed in the wrong direction. That would be my...
yeah, I do think that is that critique is obviously taking it very literally.
Do you guys know, was the No Kings protest organized in response to ICE and the immigration stuff? Because in downtown LA, like 95% of the signs were about immigration or ICE, and the Trump No King concept was there in signs, but basically always to support this is about immigration. So it seemed like this was an anti-immigration policy protest to me.
On the whole, I don't think so. My understanding is No Kings was specifically a response to him planning the military parade in DC. That was the origin
I think
of
the flavor of the
No
LA
Kings
one.
protest. And then the immigration protests that had broken out in LA the weekend before happened to coincide with the timeline. Like, these things, No Kings was being planned more than a week in advance.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And then this also happened in LA in response to those ICE raids. And then those things kind of collide because they have very similar messaging. I mean, at the core of the, or one of the core things of the Trump autocracy, like anti-king argument, is the approach to immigration, pulling people into unmarked vehicles, ICE overstretching the boundaries of previous administrations even, and that being a symbolism of him becoming a king or fascism occurring. And that is why that response was happening in LA to begin with, and why it molds well into the broader messaging that I think No Kings has, which is, the idea of the Trump administration becoming something akin to an autocracy is not just about immigration, but immigration is a very big part of that. So I think it's a piece that just fit into these protests.
From what I saw and looking at pictures, like the LA one was more focused on immigration because of what happened.
That makes sense.
But it was just cool. Even regardless of, again, for me, the biggest thing was that people are, willing to get out of their house and meet other people and talk about it and advocate for themselves. And that so many people did that was a good sign. I was more, regardless of even what the message was, I was just happy of that.